Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and I've got another weekly update for you on the Newberg, Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity in this past Sunday, November 20th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you. So as I always do, start off looking at active listings. Last week in Newberg, we had 8 new properties come on the market. That's up quite a bit from the prior couple of weeks. We had a low of 3 new listings a couple weeks ago and a high of 15 earlier in the period. And we ended the week with 93 homes in total on the market, which you can kind of see has been pretty steady over the past 8 weeks. We had a low of 87 and a high of 97, so we're kind of in the middle of that range this past week. The median price and the days on market for the active listings, you can kind of see where that is tracked. The red bars is the median list price. So we had a high of 575 about 6 weeks back. The past 3 weeks, it's been right at 550,000. So it's been pretty steady here over the past 3 to 4 weeks. And then days on market certainly have been trending up quite a bit. Had a low of 39 days here about 5 weeks back, and has been going up from that point. This last week we hit 60 days, so right at 2 months of average market time for these 93 active listings right now. So properties in general are definitely hanging on the market longer and are taking longer to sell for sure. Moving along to pending sales. So this last week I showed we had 7 properties go pending in Newberg. You can kind of see that that's just under the high of 8 that we had here about 7 weeks back, and we had a low of 4. So it's been 4 to 8 per week is kind of where we've been tracking the past couple months. And we ended the week with 36 homes in pending status in total, which is up a little bit from the prior week, which was the low for the 8 weeks, but certainly off the pace of kind of where we were earlier in the period here. We had a high of 54 about 6 weeks back. The median price and days on market for those pendings, you can see we had a high of 540,000 here about 5 weeks back. This last week took quite a tumble, as you can kind of see from where we were at. We were, kind of for quite a while in the 520s, 530s. This last week we dipped clear down to 473,000 for the median pending price right now. So, definitely, homes that are less expensive are kind of obviously taking more of the median here, bringing that down quite a bit. And then the days on market has been surprisingly pretty steady over the past now pretty much the whole period here. We had a low of 40 and a high of 50. It's been tracking right around 41, 42 days now for the past month. And then lastly here, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the information together, I show we had 4 properties go from pending to sold this last week in Newberg. That's up a bit from the weekly low of 3. Here we had 2 weeks back, and we had a high of 16 here about 5 weeks ago. So it's been fairly variable here over the past 8 weeks. And then when I look over the past 4 weeks on a weekly basis, you can kind of see this last week we registered only 23 closed sales over the prior 4 weeks. So definitely quite a drop off from where we were just a couple weeks prior, where we had a high of 42 closings over the prior 4 weeks. Median sold price and days on market for their solds, both measures are certainly up. We started the period at 490,000 was as a median sold price, and you can kind of see this last week we hit 545,000 for the median sold price. And days on market has been rising as well. Had a low of 16 8 weeks back, and this last week hit 53. So pretty close to what the actives are tracking at right now. So just under about 2 months of average market time for these 23 solds that have most recently closed. And then finally, we'll finish up looking at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So red bars is that weeks of inventory, and you can kind of see it. It had been holding pretty steady for the most part. Between 9 and 11, kind of 12 weeks over the week period here. This last week, those shot up quite a bit because of that drop off in the number of sales over the prior 4 weeks. So, according to the measures here, we're now sitting at about 16 weeks worth of active inventory, which hasn't been that high in a long time. So that's just about 4 months worth of, active inventory right now. And then sale price, you can kind of see that continues to decline and took, quite a dip this past week as well, to 90, just over 90%. So that's a full 10% off of the list price, original list price. And so, that's pretty substantial. When you look behind the scenes a little bit, I mean, there was a couple that were massively, price reduced listings to get them sold, which, obviously kind of brings this down. But, just kind of gives you a real sense of, market is definitely slowed considerably here in Newberg. And, with that amount of inventory and kind of the sale price ratio, definitely moved from even a balanced market to almost more of a buyer's market environment right now in Newberg. So we'll see how this continues to track. I would suspect that this is might come down a bit, but it's a little hard to obviously kind of forecast right now with kind of where the market is. So hope that update has been helpful to you. As always, if I can ever answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number is 503-680-2065. And if you're watching this video on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It's a great way for you to kind of keep up to date and educated on what's happening in our local market. As you can see, lots changing, and it's if you're thinking about doing anything, it's really good to stay up to date on what's happening out there. So really appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day and week ahead. Hope you have a blessed Thanksgiving with your family, and we will see you next week on the next update.